right, let me tell you a story about a guy named Daniel. He wasn't just any guy. He was one of the sharpest, most dependable people in the entire kingdom of Babylon. Think of him as the ultimate project manager, so good at his job that the king, Darius, was planning to put him in charge of everything. The whole kingdom. Now, you'd think that's great news, right? Well, not for everyone. A few other high-level officials got incredibly jealous. They couldn't stand that Daniel was so successful. They watched him like hawks, trying to find some mistake. Some tiny error they could use against him. But here's the thing about Daniel. He was completely honest. He did his work with integrity. They couldn't find a single thing to complain about. Frustrated, they realized there was only one way to trap him. Daniel was a man of deep faith. Every single day, 3 times a day, he would open his windows, face towards Jerusalem, and pray. It was his non-negotiable routine. His connection to God. So these jealous officials cooked up a nasty plan. They went to King Darius and buttered him up. "Oh, King Darius, you're the greatest. Let's make a new law to show how powerful you are. For the next 30 days, no one can pray to any god or person except you. And if they do, they get thrown into the lion's den." The king, caught up in the flattery, didn't see the trap. He thought it was a great idea and signed it into law. And in that kingdom, once a law was signed by the king, it could not be changed. Did Daniel hear about the new law? Absolutely. Did he panic? Did he start praying in secret? Nope, he went home. Opened his windows just like always and prayed. Giving thanks to God just as he had always done. He chose his faith over his safety. Of course, the officials were waiting. They caught him in the act and rushed back to the king. "Daniel, he's breaking your new law. He's praying to his God." The king was heartbroken. He finally saw their trick. He realized he'd been manipulated into condemning his best and most loyal official. He spent the entire day trying to find a loophole, a way to save Daniel, but his own law trapped him. There was nothing he could do. As evening fell, they brought Daniel to the lion's den. The king looked at him, his voice full of regret, and said, "May your God, whom you serve so consistently, rescue you." Then they threw Daniel into the den and sealed it with a giant stone. The king went back to his palace but couldn't eat or sleep. He just paced and worried all night long. At the first light of dawn, the king rushed back to the lion's den. He called out in an anguished voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve so faithfully, been able to save you from the lions?" And then a voice came from inside the den. It was Daniel. "May the king live forever. My God sent an angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They haven't hurt me at all, because I was found innocent in his sight. And I haven't done anything wrong to you, O king." The king was overjoyed. He ordered them to lift Daniel out of the den immediately. They examined him, and there wasn't a single scratch on him. Not one, because he had trusted in his God. This story isn't just about surviving a den of lions. It's about integrity when no one is watching and courage when everyone is. It's about the kind of unshakable faith that holds you steady even when the world is trying to tear you down. Daniel's trust wasn't a last-minute plea for help. It was the lifetime of faithfulness that carried him through his darkest night. It's a powerful reminder that true strength often comes from a quiet, consistent faith. Thanks for listening. If this story meant something to you, be sure to follow for more.